Good morning, Namaste. Welcome to our Sunday morning meditation time. Really happy to be here with you today on Mother's Day. And so whether you are actually a mother and have given birth, or you just are human on the planet, everybody is a mother to someone or something, regardless of gender. This is the Divine Mother. The way we nurture, the way we love, the way we connect with our hearts. So it's from that place that I'm going to invite you to go into our meditation. Just settle down into that feeling, that knowingness. I invite you just to take a deep breath. And take another. As you exhale, imagine any stress, any discomfort leaving your body. Do this for 3 more breaths, allowing each breath just to take you a little bit deeper. Taking us deeper into that space in our heart where we know and anchor into the love that we are. Focusing in our heart, think of someone who has been a mother to you, whether it's actually your mother or another person in your life that has cared for you, that has loved you, that has guided you, that has helped form you into the person that you are today. Breathing in that love and feeling them and seeing them in your mind's eye. Allow that love for this person to fill you up. Taking that love that that person has given you, feel that encompassing you. For me, that starts in my heart, but feel it expanding throughout your body. Feel it up through the top of your crown, through your shoulders, out through your hands, down through your body, down into your legs, into your feet. Feel it expanding and filling you up and overflowing. Now take a moment to send this person, whether they are still on this planet or beyond, but send them the love that you have received from them, and send it out from you to them. Send gratitude and thanks to this person for sharing this love so amazingly with you. And now see them receiving that love back to them from you. For that exchange of give and take, that flow of life. And now see yourself taking that love beyond just the one-on-one exchange, sharing it with those that you are close to, Feel it expanding beyond. Noticing the circle of love that's being created by this exchange of give and take. Now extend this flow of love, this give and take out to your community, to our Namaste community. Taking it out to the community as a whole, to Long Beach or to wherever you may be. Send it out to the state, to the country, to the planet. Knowing that this love, this flow, it's universal life force that exists within each of us. Knowing that this love is inherent in each of us. There be nothing needed to be done to earn it. It is the birthright. It is the gift from Spirit. Feel it wrapping and enveloping you in the lightness and flow of universal energy. This is the nurturing energy of the mother that we can tap into at any time. So as we breathe that in, knowing that this love is ever present, unconditional. I invite you to take a few more breaths in. Just visualize anybody else that sits in that heart as that divine nurture and love in your life. Give gratitude for that love. And I invite you not to forget to give it to yourself as well. And just take a couple more deep breaths in. I invite you to begin to bring your awareness back to your body. You move your head and your hands, your toes. Feeling yourself once again anchored back into your body, being supported in the seat wherever you may be sitting. And just taking another deep breath, bringing your awareness back. Thank you, everybody. So, welcome to Mother's Day, the nature of love today on this day we call Mother's Day. And I forgot to send a picture of my mother in, so I'm going to just take a moment since I'm on platform and share my mom, June Almond, and that's me. I'm only a couple months old here in this picture, but I just want to say thank you, Mom. Thanks for the gift of being you and all the ways that you continue to teach me and nurture me and love me. And so when I hear the story of the nature of love, love solicits a lot of feelings, a lot of heart wide open. And sometimes when I am not feeling so all open, I may have feelings that aren't that fuzzy feelings of love. Sometimes I know there's stories that are going on there that does not allow me to get deeper into that feeling of love. And when I go there, I tell myself that I'm not lovable or that I'm not worthy. And when that happens, I know I am not anchored in that greater truth of who I am. And I have to tell you that lately I have been flowing in and out of that. And so I know that some of you may have other stories that you may be telling about yourself too, when we're not really anchored in the greater truth of who we are, in that greater nature of love. And it's in those places that I struggle to remember these greater truths. When I am in that flow of life and feeling the nature, the true nature of love, that bigger love, that capital L love, then life is in the flow. And sometimes I'm not in the flow. I am struggling. I don't remember that life is that truth. And so the questions I have is, how am I with myself in those times? And what I am learning, especially, I have to tell you that this COVID-19 experience is giving me that opportunity to sit in that uncomfortableness, that times when I am not in that flow of life. And it's the stories that I tell myself that I get to either get stuck in the story or I get to just allow myself to be right where I am. And that's when I reach out in this community, and I reach out to my prayer partners, and I let them remind me of the truth. It's reminding me that I don't have to have all the answers. I get to just be where I am. And I know that I am loved even in those moments. Even in those moments when I can't remember it for myself. I reach out to my community, my Namaste community, to be reminded of that. And I get to experience where I am, regardless of what it looks like, that those stories that I have in the past told myself that I have to have all the answers for myself. I have to know this greater truth that no, I get to be right where I am, and it doesn't diminish who I am because I am in the small me at that moment. That you remind me of the greater truth, my community. And so thank you for that. Namaste. Thank you for always being present for me, to know the greater truth. And so with that, welcome to Sunday service. Namaste. I am glad to be here with you. And we're going to go into invocations so that we can let Bobby do what Bobby does, and we can let Kong do what Kong does, and the amazing bot can do what they do. So if you're so inclined to close your eyes with me, I invite you to do so. As I take a deep breath from that place, that breath reminds me that spirit truly is closer than my breath. I can let go
Good morning, namaste. I think we have a frozen screen here, so I'm going to just be here with Nikki as she comes back. It's really beautiful on this Sunday morning of Mother's Day, and this opportunity for us to come together. So as we step into this invocation, the opportunity, if I may conclude from where Nikki is this. We're so grateful to be here today. So honored to be able to share whatever experience we have with the mother figure in our lives. Let us be and know that as we unfold and open today, we do so with the realm of possibility always present, that we move and we flow and we're flexible through this time. And we allow this time together on Sunday. Bless everything that shows up, knowing that it shows up just for me to respond. And so I'm part of this beautiful unfolding that is life. So with that, I just opened this Sunday service. I am so grateful that Nikki was here to present where she has it in her life, and let us bless her for that and know that. So in that, I just say, thank you, God. And so it is. So namaste. Thanks for coming in this morning and sharing your time with us. Sunday mornings are so precious. And this community, though we are a little bit far away with respect to the physicality of it all, we are very close energetically and very close when we come together virtually. And it's all perception. So I just invite you to step in and comment and let us know you're here and reach out to one another. I just want to say thank you to Julie Geno and Debbie Ann Vokes, who were present on our live stream, saying good morning, and just really enjoy and love them for that. And with that, I'm going to bring Kong, our music director, up. And Kong, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so excited to get to hear you today. We have a little bit of new sound happening.
We do. We have a couple microphones. We've got a tape machine in the back. That's just for looks, though. But yeah, it's definitely a new approach, and I think it's going to really make a difference today. So looking forward.
Wonderful.
To it. Yeah.
Well, we're glad to see you this morning. Thanks for sharing your time with us. As always, you're such a great part of this team. So I'm going to let you just open us up with music.
All right. Thank you. And happy Mother's Day to everyone. Really. We've all got a little mother in us all. The question is why? Why are we here? To say our hellos and goodbyes and disappear. This beautiful life, what is it for? To learn how to master peace or master war. There's only one answer that matters, even if your heart has been shattered. Whatever you want, whatever you're after, love is still the answer. Love is still the answer. Love, 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 love. Sing it with me wherever you are. Love, 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 love. We all make mistakes. No, we're not perfect yet. Maybe God made us all from an accident. And the question that sits on everyone's lips is, why should we pick ourselves up and start over again? There's only one answer that matters, even if your heart has been shattered. Whatever you want, whatever you're after, love is still the answer. Love is still the answer. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. The question I'll ask at the end of my day is, what did I give? Oh, and what will I take? There's only one answer that matters, even if your heart and your dreams have been shattered. Whatever you want, whatever you're after, love is still the answer. Love is still the answer. Sing it with me to end this song. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love is still the answer.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Kong.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day. And I love the Pee Wee for President poster in your studio there. So have a great day. Hi, everybody. For those of you who are joining us outside of our community or for the first time, I'm Ray Bradford. I'm one of your board trustees. And so I welcome you, whether you're near or far. We are different because you are here. And so as a community, we defined a couple of years ago through visioning who we are as a community. So, and we just repeat it all and we echo it back to ourselves. So if you wouldn't mind, join me right now in saying who we are. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is love, truth, light, and peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we recognize that we are one. Namaste. And how do we do that? We have our vision. So if you can repeat after me, or with me, the vision statement. I learn practical science of mind tools and practice in a loving, connective, and vibrant community to reveal my power and change my life. And how do we do that? Through the tools and practices, we awaken to new answers and new realizations. Through that awakening, we realize how powerful our life can be. And in that realization, we transform our lives. And then we get to do it all over again because we are, after all, in this classroom called life. Our power statements are: we are a thriving, dynamic, spiritual community. Hashtag we are Namaste. Hashtag, you know what? This stuff works. And it does. So let me give you just a couple of announcements for right now. You know that every Tuesday we get together. Some people new, some people old timers. We get together and have happy hour, online happy hour, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. This coming Tuesday is special. Not only will we gather on Zoom, but we will have our town hall. So your board of directors will be, board of trustees will be present, as will Reverend Bobby. Will give you an update on where we're at as a community. And Reverend Bobby's been opening on a reopening plan. So whenever we're ready, we know what steps to take to enter into our space again. So she'll be sharing that. And then the following Tuesday, May 19th, we have canceled that Tuesday just temporarily because we have a lot going on that week and we respect your own agenda and your own personal lives. But we will be reconnecting the following Tuesday, May 26th, with the return of bingo. For anybody that was there that Tuesday last month, it was fun. Prizes and just so silly, silly fun. And so follow us on social media because I'll be giving you all the directions, the instructions of what to do. You have to buy your bingo cards. It's a fundraiser for Namaste. And then there are prizes. There are winning prizes for those bingo winners. So stay tuned. But for this week, please don't forget, join us at 7 p.m. for our town hall happy hour. And that's pretty much it. So on behalf of all the board of trustees, happy Mother's Day to our mothers, to your mothers, the daughters, the granddaughters, and the great granddaughters and grandmothers. So I love you all. So I think Reverend Bobby should be coming up. There she is.
Hi, Ray. Good to see you again.
Okay. Happy Mother's Day to everybody there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ray, and appreciate all you do.
Oh, thank you.
So we have a couple other announcements I'd like to share with you that we've mentioned the last couple weeks. Alan Arnett is going to be part of our music team as the Namaste Choir Director. And he and coordinators Julie Bathke and Marilee Adler will be coordinating a reboot of our choir. So if you're interested, you can see that there are some email addresses on the slide, but if you can also look on our website and get that information there on what's happening with the choir. Just a reminder, you can also connect every morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. with our practitioners. They're offering prayer and support. And you know, what's really interesting about that is here we're now going into 6 weeks being shelter in place. And for me, I'm finding things coming up because I'm getting to sit with myself a little bit more. And so I just really urge you, if you're struggling and you feel like you just need a little bit of extra support, either connect with our practitioners Monday through Friday, or you can go on our website and you'll find a phone number and an email if you'd like to connect specifically with prayer. The circle is coming Wednesday, May 20th. It's that week we've got Desiree Canal, who's going to be doing a beautiful writing spiritual practice, Know Thyself. Valerie Day and her team are presenting this beautiful opportunity. It's going to be live on Zoom. You can also find that link on our website and our calendar. So with that, I'd like to get us started this morning with some spiritual edification. So I'm really grateful that we have our music director back on the same side of the country as us, just because it's good to have you close by, Con. So I just really appreciate that.
Still not close enough, but closer by.
We're getting closer and closer, aren't we? So I'm going to let Con go ahead and bring us into a little bit of sacred time again this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and I also want to welcome Alan to the team, and I'm very excited to work with him and Julie and Marilee. Very excited. And this song is called Everything New, and definitely hit me this week. I think we're all kind of figuring out what the new normal is. And in some sense, this touches upon that. Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's finally time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. And I survived many times before, broken hearts and slamming doors. It'll be alright, yes it will, once more. Just as I did back then, I'm gonna rise again. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. It's gonna be everything new.
Thank you for that, Colm.
Thank you.
As we move into this special presentation and opportunity to be present in this day that we call Mother's Day, when I was thinking about this talk, which is what's the nature of love, that's the talk title, and what is my experience of it, and what do I choose it to be as me, which really is me, is how I unfold in my experience, in my planet. How I am is how I see things. Ernest Holmes says, anything you ever saw or ever will see is simply the result of mind in action. Everything I see is through this filter that I carry around with me, and I carry a host of them. So it's the opportunity is an invitation to look at what the nature of love is and how it plays out in my life. I've told this story, but it's been a long time. It's probably one of the most significant moments in my own life with my mother before she passed. My mother's been gone now for about 8 years. And just about 3 years before she had passed away, we had spent about 18 years with little to no communication. We were estranged, and my parents were struggling with who I was as a lesbian, and so it was really challenging for them. And so it was about 18 years before we really had a conversation that was not really keeping us apart. My mother went in the hospital. She had had a stroke, and she had gone back in after recovering from that stroke, and she was in there to have a stent put in one of her arteries. And I had shown up. It hadn't been too long since we had reconnected, maybe just a few months. And I was in the waiting room. She had come out and was in the recovery room, and my father and my sister were in there with her. And I really just came to, I wanted to be there. I didn't know that if I would get to see her, but it was kind of a new experience after all those years being away. My dad comes out into the waiting room and says, "Your mother wants to see you." And my heart kind of stopped a little bit, because anytime someone said my mother wanted to see me, I tended to get a little bit nervous, because it usually didn't pan out in a way that was always very positive. And you still, of course, walk through that. So I went into the ICU room where she was, and I walk in and my sister's in there, and my mom says to my sister, "Well, let me talk with Bobby." And again, I'm getting even more nervous. My heart's pounding. And she asked me to come closer to her bedside. And she says to me, she says, "You know, I'm so sorry about not being here all these years. It was probably good for you. And I'm still sorry." And there was this interesting moment in that I never expected to hear "I'm sorry" from my mother. That certainly was something that was not usually expected. But the fact that we had this like really interesting moment of connection in which we both knew it was all okay. We both had this extraordinary experience of loving one another for where we were. It was such a paradox, that very apology of "I'm sorry I wasn't there, and yet it was probably good for you." And that is so often that life is this paradox. It's the nature of love, I think, to some extent. As I mentioned earlier, anything you ever saw, or ever will see is simply the result of mind in action. And the opportunity to look at that is, and I just want to invite you to kind of look at what some of the faith traditions have said about love. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs. And that's 1 Corinthians. Hafiz, beautiful quote from him is, "Love is simply creation's biggest joy." And that's something to consider here. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what kind of came up for me with all these quotes. The Buddha said, "When you like a flower, you just pluck it. But when you love a flower, you water it daily. One who understands this understands life." And then in the Jewish mystical tradition, the Kabbalah, the law of nature is the law of all-encompassing love, harmony, and benevolence. I'm really touched by these quotes, in that the opportunity here is, one is, love is spontaneous. And love is spontaneous when you look at what Ernest Holmes talks about when he says that all is love and yet all is law. Love rules through law. Love is the divine givingness. Law is the way. Love is the spontaneous. Law is impersonal. Love points the way, and law makes the way possible. So what do I know about love from all this is, one, from Ernest Holmes, as I said, love is spontaneous. So there's choice in it. There's always choice. Love is creative. So it has power, and it can not only create things, but in some instances, it can change things. Love is unconditional. To me, that's probably one of the most important parts of it. As human beings, it's very difficult for us to be unconditional in our human kind of love. But love is unconditional, and from a divine standpoint, it honors all things. It honors all events. It honors all situations, and it honors all circumstances. It is also present in all things, in all events, in all situations, and in all circumstances. So when I think about that, and I think about this beautiful infinite container that is love, I think about, how do I experience love in my own life? How do I show up as love in my life? And how will I know unless I look at life through the lens of love? Mark Nepo brings a beautiful quote to this. Before fixing what you're looking at, check at what you're looking through. What an interesting message, in the sense of that there's so often we're trying to fix a particular situation or condition if it's uncomfortable, if it's stressful, if it's something that we don't want in our lives, because it's asking us to look at things differently, to be different. And as we know that Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind, our founder, says to turn away from the conditions, but it's really to turn away from my perception of those conditions and how I see them. Because each one of us, I've said this many times, we see conditions in our life, which could be relationships. And we see them and we think that that's not the relationship I was supposed to have. That's not the relationship I was supposed to have. But the truth is, I mean, when I look at the relationship I have with my own mother, is that she was my best teacher. And she taught me how to love and how to be love in life. And I'm still working on it. It's not like I'm a project done. I'm unfolding constantly with what that means. And even in that moment in which she and I had that exchange of that, I'm sorry, I never expected that. When she did, there was something that healed inside of me, which allowed me to see the situation, allowed me to see the experience that we walked together with in a completely different way. After that day, life kind of returned, the relationship returned to some instance. It was slightly different. It looked a little bit the same. But ultimately, before my mother passed, I felt fortunate that I was seeing her in a different way, to the point that when she did pass, I have one of those relationships with my mother that I'm extremely grateful for. And I so appreciate when I see those relationships unfolding in my life through other people. Janine's mom, my wife, her mom came to live with us for a period of time. And I got to watch from that moment when she was living with us and then she moved into assisted living. She had a respiratory condition that required a lot of care. Janine's mom was one of those people that she just becomes the mother of whoever is in her children's lives. And she was a mother to me. What was interesting about this, and I use this from The Voice Celestial, is this speaks to the relationship I saw unfolding with me, with her mother, and with Janine and her mother. Ernest and Fenwick Holmes wrote this beautiful poem called The Voice Celestial, and this is a piece from that. Love meets you on the level where you stand, becomes to you what you become to it. Be thou aware of love, and love will be aware of you. Responding kind for kind, embrace him in the silence of your heart, that he may fold you ever in his arms. And lo, the heart that finds itself within the center of the all-embracing one will find all wakened souls alike aware. And harmony shall reign, and love become the law that rules your world. You know, what is love calling me to be? I was listening to a story about a Sister Mary Agnes. She works at a school for children in New Hampshire in May, and she gave a TED Talk that was pretty extraordinary. And in that talk, she talks about how she had never been around children. She was very, not even as a child, she was the youngest of all her siblings, and as well, she never babysat or anything. And this is a very young nun. And she talked about these children that she was in the care of them in her own way. She became a parent and a teacher, and she had a child that had come in and that in the first couple of weeks was extremely violent, not only to herself, but that child was also violent to the other children that were present. So in her trying to reach out to this child one evening, it was happening such that the child would be violent after everyone went to bed and they shared rooms. And so she and another sister came in and sat at this child's bedside. And as she was sitting at that bedside of that child, one of the sisters read a book, and Sister Mary Agnes, she sat there with the child and just kind of held watch. And it was kind of a high watch, and she wasn't even really sure that's what she was doing, but they were trying to do something for this child who just seemed so angry and upset. As they sat there with that child, right before the child fell asleep, the child turned to Sister Mary Agnes and she said, "This was my first night feeling safe in my entire life." This child being about 10 or 11 years old, can you imagine? This is the first night that I felt safe in my entire life. The next day, the child went to school and she had an appointment with her counselor. And typically she would come in and she would grab a doll that was in the counselor's office, and she would just beat this doll and throw this doll and beat the doll up against the wall. But this morning she came in and she said to the counselor, and she says, "I want you to pretend that you're me, and I will pretend to be Sister Mary Agnes." So she told her counselor to lay on top on this table. And the child grabbed a blanket and she put it over the counselor, and she tucked it in, and she says, "This is what Sister Mary Agnes does for me." The point of the nature of love is that when we truly demonstrate, when we truly act as love, there's a couple things that happen. When we never know the effect we have on people. I'm sure in my own mother's, the example of my own mother, that she did not know what that moment meant to me, really, and how much it meant. And it really comes down to the fact that we are not our behavior. And can we go deeper into the experience with understanding that when we see people, that they are not their behavior. When we see what's happening on social media, people are not their behavior. Can I lean in a little bit? Can I be a little more conscious of the fact that when people are angry, that they're afraid? Can I see that behind that behavior is truly the fearful, and then underneath that fear is truly who we are? Can I see that the polarization that exists on the planet, that I'm also part of it? Can I notice when I'm polarized in my own thinking with others or with situations, and see how I contribute to that collective polarization? Can I bring my own habits into focus? Can I make a strong intention to be compassionate? Can I make a strong intention, as what I see Nikki doing during the meditation earlier, which is looking at the labels and stories I have about myself and others, and give myself the time right here and right now to be part of the change I wish to see on the planet, and not just expect others to be that, to see the bigger vision and to bring who I am into focus. The picture that you see up here is my grandmother, who passed away the same week as my mother and was a very beautiful mother image for me and healed who I am through my life, and just made a huge shift for me. What I'd like to do right now is Ray Bradford created a beautiful presentation for all of us this morning. And I'm so grateful to get to share this with you. Ray is amazing. I love how he is with his family. I love how he shows up as a board member and how he expresses such deep love in a way that is truly a blessing to Namaste. So with that, if you could just sit back and enjoy a presentation on mothers.
I live every day like Mother's Day. I live every day like Mother's Day. So often you told me I shouldn't judge myself against the rest. Keep to my own path, always give my all and do my best. I fell once or twice, but you never ever had a doubt that good things would come to me. One day I'd make you proud. and all I am and ever hope to be. I found within the way that you saw me. You lift me higher when my hope is fading. You understand when it's complicated. If I could only find the right words to say, I'd live every day like Mother's Day. Whoa, I'd live every day like Mother's Day. Children get older and make their own way as they grow. Raise their own families and pass on the wisdom they know. As I go through my life, it gets harder to know what is true. I know I can count on the lessons that I learned from you. And all I am and ever hope to be, I found within the way that you saw me. You lift me higher when my hope is fading. Understand when it's complicated. If I could only find the right words to say, I'd live every day like Mother's Day. I'd live every day like Mother's You lift me higher when my hope is fading. You understand when it's complicated. If I could only find the right words to say, I'd live every day like Mother's Day.
So for those of you that experience some buffering, you get a chance to watch it again and enjoy this beautiful gift that Ray has provided to the community that is Namaste. Let us just honor right now and bless the community of mothers on our planet. So join me in this prayer. I'm just so grateful to be able to be here with the community that is Namaste, knowing that Namaste is the collective representation of all. That God is all there is. God being in, as, and through this community that is Namaste. And for the mothers that have been part of each and every life that's been part of this community, and anyone today who's joining us for the first time, we bless those mothers. We bless the mothers that are here on the planet now for who they are and what they do. All those mothers that are at home and fathers taking on that role that is typically mother and doing that home teaching. We bless the mothers that are teachers for the children, that are doing that virtual schooling. We bless the mothers that are spouses, the mothers that are our aunts, the mothers that are grandmothers, and the mothers that are cousins and friends, and anyone that shows up as that expression of mother that lifts us up, and also it sometimes in that paradox reflects exactly the opposite. Today, we take a step forward in opening up to this idea that mother isn't what we've defined it necessarily only as what shows up in this human plane, but there is a greater expression of mother that we just open ourselves to, which includes that paradox. So I'm really grateful to be able to be here today with Namaste, to share in the joy that is Mother's Day, to share in that joy with our community, knowing that who we are is also how we are. So we step also into opening to a greater understanding and expression of the nature of love. We step back from being polarized ourselves and step into being more inclusive. We listen more. We take a wider vision of everything that shows up. We look at who we are and what we do. What's my part? And in that, I just say, thank you, God, for this time together, this expression of who each one of us are. And I say with such gratitude, and so it is. So I'm really happy to have been here with you today. Let me just get my little screen here. Part of what we do now is sort of the giving part of our service. So I'm really grateful to invite each one of you. For those of you that give on auto tithe, we thank you for that, for continuing to give. You have your options of doing Give Plus or PayPal as well. And we just, again, we thank you for your giving, because it allows us to serve and do what we do and continue to do it, whether it's virtual or in person. That gift that you give, if you could take that gift, if you're just giving it today, you're going to go online and do that gift that not only supports the community that is Namaste, but we also get to go out now above and beyond and demonstrate who we are to the world through this virtual time. So take that gift and put it right here. Hold that gift close, knowing that that gift not only gives to who we are as Namaste, but allows an even greater expression as we move forward into who we are next, which is always what the next step is. So in that, bless that gift, whether it's the gift financially, also please bless the time and the talent that each person gives to this community. Grateful for our board of trustees as they step into service, have been since I've been here and before I came. Blessing our practitioners and how they show up as service. I'm so grateful for Nikki and her story, and we bless that, knowing that our practitioners do that each and every Sunday. So in that blessing, I just say, thank you, God, and so it is. I'm going to bring Kong up. Let me get you full screen here, Kong, and share in this experience as we close our service. So I'm going to let you go ahead and play this beautiful music that you've prepared for us today.
Thank you so much, and happy Mother's Day once again to everybody. Thank you, Namaste. As always, so grateful for you, and thank you, Bobby, for your talk. It always means a lot and takes me to a very good place. The song's called Gentle on My Mind. It's knowing that your door is always open and the path is free to walk that makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. It's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and the ink stains that are dried upon some line. That keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memory, that keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy planted on their columns now that bind me. Or something that somebody said because they thought we fit together walking. It's just knowing that the world will not be cursing nor forgiving when I walk along some railroad track and find that you're moving on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, and for hours you're just gentle on my mind. Through the wheat fields and the clotheslines and the junkyards and the highways come between us, and some other woman's crying to hear her mother, 'cause she turned and I was gone. Still might run in silence, tears of joy might stain my face, and the summer sun might burn me till I'm blind. But not to where I cannot see you walking on the back roads by the rivers flowing gentle on my mind. I dip my cup of soup back from a gurgling, cackling cauldron in some train yard. My beard a rough and cold pile and a dirty hat pulled low across my face. Through cupped hands round the tin can, I pretend to hold you to my breast and find that you're wavering from the back roads by the rivers of my memories, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind. On my mind. On my mind. On my mind.
Thank you for that, Kong.
Thank you, Robbie.
So grateful to get to have this day with you. I think what I'm going to do is, one of the things I wanted to do earlier was to share a prayer that we've been sharing the last couple of weeks. So let me just pull that up really quick. So if you can just repeat or read this with me. I'm so used to saying repeating when we're together. Peace, faith, and power are within me, for they are witnesses of the inner spirit of truth, love, and wisdom. I am at peace with me and all that responds to that great calm of the inner soul, which knows its rightful place in the all good. Power is born from within me and passes into my experience without effort or labor. I rest in this faith and peace, for the inner light shines my next step as my soul illumines the way. And so it is. So thank you for joining us this week. Kong, thanks for great music. Love the sound.
Thank you. Yeah. We stepped it up this week. It's feeling
Yes,
good.
we did.
Great.
It is feeling good.
Hope it sounded good over there.
It sounded really good. So let me just do one last invitation. Tuesday night, we're going to be talking about next steps for Namaste, including how we're going to open and some of the phased approach we're going to be using. So I just invite you to join us on Tuesday night at 8:00, and the board will come in and take over for our happy hour and give you a little bit more information. So with that, thanks again, Kong. Everyone have a great week.
Thank you.
And be safe, and blessings to you and your mothers. I saw your mother on their way, by the way, Kong.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she loved you.
She's a great
So
mom.
happy Mother's Day to everyone out there, and have a great week.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.